everyone, it's Michelle from Scrap Secrets, and I wanted to show you today this recipe card holder book that I've been working on. It's not completely finished, and the reason that I wanted to show it to you before it was done is because I used this tool called a Stamp-a-majig. It's from Inkadinkado, and I wanted to also show you how to do this, how to use this. I used it to stamp my recipe cards on the inside. So I'm going to show you that in a minute after I show you the front and what I've done so far in the book. So the background paper is just a piece of white cardstock, and it's inked up with two different colors of distress ink, Faded Jeans and Stormy Sky, which kind of are like these two colors. Actually, it's Broken China and Stormy Sky. Those are the two that I inked up. I spritzed it with a little bit of water and then waited for it to dry. The water just helps the colors blend a little bit better. And then I put the backgrounds in here, and then I put all the layers together for this and then glued them down. So these images come from the From My Kitchen Cricut cartridge. The first one is the oven that's on page 30. I cut it out at 2.5 inches. And the thing with this is it's an older Cricut cartridge, so all of the icons that you just need the regular key for are in the pink, and then the ones that you need to use the shift for are in green. So this is Lucy, so sorry guys. So unlike the newer Cricut cartridges where they have different colors that actually represent the colors on the image itself, this is a little bit harder to put together if there are more layers, so you do have to be a little bit more conscious about that. So just to let you know, so that's from page 30 and it's cut out 2.5 inches. And the recipe oval is cut from page 43 from the regular oval with the shift, and then the oval shadow is cut out with the shift key as well at 1 inch. One thing to note about these, like the other word on this page is stir. If you use the stir oval shadow, cut it at 1 inch, it would not fit behind this. So just be aware that for each and every word that you cut out, you have to use the corresponding oval. You can't just use the same oval for every single word, even if you've cut everything out at the same size. So just a little note. So that's the front of the recipe book. I do have this little plastic piece, but I took it out because it was creating a glare, so that'll go back in. This is just a photo album from Michaels. So, and then the inside, I cut out a bunch of different designer papers. I cut them to 4x6. And you can see they're all like creams and greens and orange and browns, kind of that like retro colors. And then I cut out the card stock for the recipe card at 3x5. So if I take this out, let me show you. This is what it looks like. And the stamp that I use is this Stamp-a-abilities red rubber wood mounted stamp that says Recipe For and From the Kitchen Of. So now when you're going to stamp something, especially that this is not much, the stamp is not much smaller than the 3x5 paper. And it also, my stamp isn't exactly put on there evenly, like it's a little bit crooked, and it doesn't exactly match up with the words on the front. So this is where the Stamp-a-majig comes in handy. So what you do with the Stamp-a-majig to get this on here perfect or close to perfect is the Stamp-a-majig comes with this little piece of plastic, and you want to use the rougher textured side, not the smooth side, and this little tool. So what you're going to want to do, and I always use distress inks for this because even after a long time, it's really easy to clean off of this surface. Some of the other inks, you can see I've kind of got some stains on here. So using distress ink wipes off nice and easy because it takes a long time for it to dry. So what I did, I'm not going to use this stamp because the scrap piece of paper I have is small, but I'm going to use this thanks stamp. So you ink it up with the distress ink. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then what you're going to do is take the top corner of the plastic and take this little T right here and line it up with the top corner, like this. Then what you're going to want to do, I'm going to put it to the side like this so you guys can see. So you take that and line it up. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to take your stamp and you're going to press it down on the side. Okay. So just so you get kind of the impression. So then you're going to take your paper and you're going to place this right over where you want it to be. So you can center it if you want it off center, do whatever. So, so that's what you're going to do. Then you're going to take your Stamp-a-majig. Let's see if I can do this. Alright, then you're going to take your Stamp-a-majig and you're going to place it right here so that it's lined up perfectly. And you're going to take this piece of plastic out. And then you're going to ink it up with whatever kind of ink that you want. It doesn't have to be the distress ink. I'll just use the distress ink because that's what's on the stamp right now. Just ink up your stamp really well, like you would normally. And then you're going to do the same thing. Slide it down. Take the Stamp-a-majig away. Give your stamp a couple seconds for the ink to transfer from the stamp to the paper. And distress ink doesn't give a great impression when stamping. Like if I had used the Stays On, it would have been a little bit more of a clear image. But there's my stamp. So nice and straight, right in the middle, right where I wanted it. So you can use this. It's really great to use for like these big stamps where there's a lot of, there's a lot of lines, a lot of places you need to put impressions. You want to make sure that it's straight on the piece of paper, as straight as you can get. So that was why I used the Stamp-a-majig for this. If you want to create a border, it's great for that too, because then you can just keep lining this, just stamp your image once, line it up on the paper, and put it down, and then put this down on the net right after the border, and then just keep using the Stamp-a-majig to create a continuous border all the way across. So it is very handy. I have found it very useful, especially when I'm doing things like this, the recipe cards. So, well, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope that I helped you learn a little bit about the Stamp-a-majig. If you have any questions, feel free to leave comments below and become a subscriber. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!